Hi Chad, welcome back. It's me Marshie. This was highly requested. Today we're gonna be checking out the Hackleburg, the Unsurvivable tornado.
Imagine living in a small town and then you hear your neighbors yelling. You go outside
Oh
and there's
God.
a dark cloud coming right towards you.
Oh.
Instincts kick in and you rush to the nearest storm shelter. Inside, you begin to hear a rumble that gets louder and louder, and then the unthinkable happens.
Oh no!
The shelter's roof is torn away. You did everything right, but
Oh my God, the roof actually got tore apart? Holy, how strong is this? I mean, I know it's an EF5 tornado, but holy shit.
it still wasn't enough. For those caught in the path, this was
Look at
truly an
that.
unsurvivable tornado.
This is literally like just a cloud of smoke. And it's all dark and gray. You can't even see anything. Oh my
Story
gosh.
of this monster began the day prior on the 26th when forecasters at the Storm Prediction Center
2011. Is it just me or I've seen just quite a few, like 5 or 6 tornadoes that happened in 2011? Like, what is going on in 2011? It's so weird, right? Like, am I just crazy?
were aware of a dangerous pattern aligning in the southeast. Extreme shear would overlap an area of unstable air. A rare high risk was issued over Alabama and the surrounding states.
Alabama,
Later
yeah.
that night, storms swept over the region, producing over 100 tornadoes and a large
Holy.
swath of severe winds. While this system never produced any violent tornadoes, it did, however, knock out most telecommunications in the area, which would have huge implications later.
Oh yeah, if it knocks out like no TV signal, no radio, so people are not gonna know what's going on, and also limited power too, which means there won't be any hot water, or if the food in the fridge may be rotten too. This is really bad.
Later in the day. Over the next few hours, the atmosphere rapidly recovered as winds from the south transported warm, unstable air
yeah.
from the Gulf
Warm
of Mexico.
moisture air.
And in response to these worsening conditions, the Storm Prediction Center further increased the tornado risk to a whopping 45% chance of tornadoes
Whoa.
over Alabama. And to make matters worse,
45.
another storm system in northern Alabama left an outflow boundary that supercharged the tornado ingredients. By 2 p.m., storms had already initiated across the region, and numerous strong tornadoes had formed. In
Damn.
Mississippi, the very first EF5
So
of the day
fast.
touched down near the town of Philadelphia. And
EF5 already, we just started. Also, I've also noticed it happens around noon. It's always 2 3 p.m. and then lasts until 5 p.m. It's never really in the morning. Especially the one that I've reacted so far is always in the afternoon. That is so odd. Must be because it's probably the warmest temperature throughout the day. That's my guess.
in central Alabama, a tornado was plowing right through
Yo!
the heart of Coleman. But soon after,
Lily
storms
looks
began to pop
crazy.
on the Alabama-Mississippi border along that dangerous boundary, and within minutes, a tornado formed west of Hamilton, Alabama. By early afternoon, explosive convection was ongoing across the southeast, and right on the Mississippi-Alabama border, a group of new updrafts formed right along that boundary.
Oh.
Soon after, the southern updraft took over, and a large hook formed on radar. Jason Jarrett saw the rapid rotation in the clouds. He captured these 3 photos of the storm's wall cloud as the storm moved northeast
Oh.
away from him.
They're moving
At the same
fast.
time, the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning for the storm, and minutes later, a tornado touches down west of Hamilton, Alabama. While the tornado races northeast, Lily Hartley is on her way to church. She notices something
Lily,
on the horizon
no.
and pulls over to get a view, and what she records is shocking.
oh.
The tornado is moving right
Jesus. I mean, I gotta say, she captures quite a crazy photo, and now we get to see it too. Dang.
through her hometown.
Look at that.
Lily is the first person to capture
Uh-oh.
video of the tornado, although she is certainly not the last, as the tornado is
Wow,
rapidly
look
gaining
at them
strength.
moving.
After passing Lily, the tornado begins traveling along Highway 43, the busiest road in the area that goes straight into
no,
the town
the highway.
of Hackleburg. Kayla Stidham snaps this photo of the tornado. In a short amount of time, the tornado has grown into a wedge.
If you didn't tell me this was a tornado photo and you just show it to me without any context, I would have thought, wow, that's really dark gray cloud.
It is now producing EF4 damage. Almost
Yeah,
immediately
EF4.
after, the tornado intensifies even further and inflicts EF5 damage for the first time. Abigail Roblero and 7 others watched the dark cloud from their back porch. As lightning
Oh,
strikes in
lightning
front
too?
of them, they spot the
Well,
silhouette.
I have never seen tornado combination with lightning. That photo looks crazy. There is no way. Oh my god.
As lightning strikes in front of them, they spot the silhouette of the tornado looming over the tree line.
That's just great.
They
All
rush to
great.
shelter in the basement with less than a
Like, the
minute to
sky is
spare
great.
before the tornado overtakes her home. At first, everything is quiet, but then it's as if an explosion occurs. The
Ooh.
entire house is thrown into the air
Collapse, right?
and disappears, leaving all
Holy
8
shit,
buried in debris.
disappeared. Oh
By
my
some
God.
miracle, everyone survives.
No way.
1 mile to the west, Ronald Elrod captures 2 photos of the monster as it's bearing down on Abigail.
Oh my gosh. A monster for real.
At the same time, Keith Banks is chasing the tornado, paralleling the path as it races towards Hackleburg. He records and is left completely speechless because of what he was witnessing.
Yo,
While
that's
Keith
actually
drives towards
crazy.
town, Tabitha Harper and her fiancé, Christopher Dunn, are seconds away from impact. Tabitha makes it to an underground shelter in time, but Christopher was in the house, gathering things for protection.
No.
Sadly, Christopher doesn't make it to safety in time and is
Christopher.
killed, along with their 9-month-old dog that is thrown over 1 mile.
Doggo!
Patrick Kelly photographs the monster entering the heart of Hackleburg.
Oh my god.
Resident Tommy Quinn runs to take shelter underground with his dad and brother. Quinn's dad clenches onto the shelter door with all his strength to protect.
I am curious, for per shelter, how many people can fit through? Or maybe we just try to fit as many as we can. But I am sure there must be some sort of limit numbers of people, because like we gotta have enough air and stuff for that too.
His sons. As the winds intensify, the steel roof of the shelter is bent outwards. Tommy recounted that the tornado sounded like a low organ note.
Oh.
After the tornado passes, Tommy and his father run over to the cries next door from the swept slab of the Emmanuel Baptist Church. They begin digging up debris, trapping the church's pastor, his wife, and their several children.
Oh my God!
Miraculously, everyone here survives.
Oh yay,
The
that's
tornado
good.
is now moving into the most
so
densely
glad.
populated part of town. Cars are thrown more than 200 yards, and
Because not gonna lie, when I saw the title Unsurvivable Tornado, I was just thinking to myself, oh my god, how many people got caught up in this casualties? Like how many people have died? Because every time I watched the tornado, I always felt so sad at the end of how many people did not survive, and the casualties numbers are always so high up there. No matter how many times I watch this, I just can't imagine, you know.
And in one home, the foundation slab is cracked as the home is forcibly ejected from the concrete pad.
Oh, God.
At another home, William Luttrell and his grandson are sucked through their living room window, sustaining gruesome injuries, but thankfully surviving.
Oh,
However,
yay!
most people in this area are not as
No!
fortunate. According to the town's chief of police, finding the death toll took nearly a
too
week
soon.
because everything in town was reduced to shreds.
Oh my god,
Ultimately,
the
it was
damage is
determined that 14 residents died on these 2 blocks.
already.
East of the denser neighborhoods in Hackleburg, the tornado impacts a multi-building complex, and one of the large 2-story apartment buildings is swept away.
Swept away.
However, the largest
Like
structure
it's
impacted
nothing.
in Hackleburg is the Wrangler gene plant, which sustains a direct hit from the core of the tornado. Genes from the plant are swept up by the tornado and are found over 40 miles away. Of the 13 people on site, 1 employee is killed. After devastating Hackleburg, the tornado continues by mowing down the dense forest while moving at a blistering pace of 52 miles per hour. Despite moving
yeah,
through
that's
rural
pretty
Alabama
fast.
at this point, local Beretta Saint is just east of the tornado and records as the beast passes by.
Oh my god!
In Beretta's video, you can see how the tornado had grown
can hear
into
the
a
sound,
massive
yeah.
behemoth and looked nothing like the stereotypical tornado
No,
we picture in our mind.
I was gonna say, yeah, like I said before, it does not look anything like tornadoes that we've seen. If you show this to anyone who does know nothing about tornado, they're gonna think like the sky is just gray and it looks like it's about to rain. Which is why I think that this tornado was really deadly.
This tornado was truly hell on earth.
Yeah, hell on earth is a
The
correct
tornado is
statement.
sustaining its immense EF5 strength and is now approaching the town of Phil
Phil
Campbell.
Campbell. Oh, we got some footage.
Campbell 3
Okay.
to 911. I got rotation coming through Phil Campbell right now.
Oh! That sounds a lot louder than
The
I
first
thought.
Black and Phil Campbell struck are the homes on Woodard Drive. Nearly every home here is leveled in EF5 fashion. The tornado
Oh my
now
gosh.
moves along Highway 237, which leads to downtown Phil Campbell. The winds of the tornado
Holy
are so
shit.
strong, a storm cellar has its roof torn off. But it's unknown if anyone was sheltering here at the time.
It
Just
must
down
be
the
some
road,
people,
several
I
framed
think.
homes are reduced to bare foundations. The tornado
Whoa.
clips Stall Club Circle, and a well-built home is swept away. More homes are completely destroyed as the tornado ravages through town. James Keller Jr. and his wife are frantically driving home to get to their storm shelter,
Oh
but
my
right as they
gosh.
pull into their driveway, their car is lifted off the ground and launched into a tree, killing James. All their
Whoa,
neighbors' homes are
James,
destroyed,
no.
each being associated with fatalities. Patricia and Donnie Gentry, Edna Nix, James Kelly Jr., and Martha Pace
Oh my God.
all died on this block. Here winds were so violent, a 25-section foot of asphalt was torn from the road. As the tornado
Jesus
moves into the eastern
Christ.
side of Phil Campbell, resident Tommy Sanders is watching the tornado move towards him from outside his
Oh,
home,
yeah.
getting bigger
Approaching
and bigger.
fast,
He
too.
takes a photo as the tornado tears through the center of Phil Campbell before racing inside for shelter. 30 seconds later, the core of the tornado overtakes him.
Oh my
Sanders is left
God.
in a critical state when he's found buried in rubble. Miraculously, he survives.
Wait,
but his
let's go.
neighbors are not so lucky, with Jack Tenev and Dagmar
Oh,
Layden
man.
being killed next door, as well as another woman to his south. On the block over, the tornado takes
No,
the lives
Ricky.
of 10-year-old Ricky Knox and Jerry and Carol Weller. In total, 21 people were killed in Phil
21.
Campbell, and the tornado was still
Oh my
maintaining
gosh.
its strength. Who's working at the time captures the tornado as it leaves Phil Campbell.
That's huge.
The massive tornado quickly moves along the horizon and is soon out of view.
If it swings around, we're done.
The tornado enters the community of Oak Grove. While this area is more sparsely populated, every building it hits is destroyed. A large brick building
Oh my
is
God.
swept off its foundation,
Whoa.
killing 2. Another home is destroyed, where a Corvette is tossed over 200 yards.
Jesus.
Oak Grove resident Rod Smith is totally unaware of the oncoming tornado. He senses something is wrong and goes outside to watch from his front porch. Everything is eerily calm, but then he sees mist begin to spiral upwards into the sky, and suddenly a black wall appears, plunging him into
Ooh.
darkness. Instincts kick in, and he rushes to a storm cellar, barely
Yes.
securing the door as the tornado's pressure
Instinct. Always trust your instinct. Yes.
begins to pull. Inside the shelter, the pressure drop is so extreme, he could feel his stomach
Ooh.
being pulled from within. Many stories similar to this are reported along the tornado's path.
I wonder
in one
why.
storm cellar, the sudden and drastic pressure drop ruptured a root canal, and in
I see, like a really sudden pressure change. That makes sense.
another case, someone reported having their tear ducts ripped.
Whoa!
This is all that was left of
It's
Ron
terrifying.
Smith's home. Around the same area, a local records the tornado as it passes through Oak Grove. This video shows just how dark and menacing it was
That's
to be out
literally
in front of
menacing,
this
like a
tornado,
black wall.
a sight very few people will ever experience,
Like,
and something
what
you
is
never
this?
want to see. Up to this point,
No.
the tornado has continuously grown in size and is now a staggering
more?
1 mile wide, destroying
1
everything in
mile?
its path like a giant bulldozer sweeping
Yo, 1 mile wide. If you think about how back in high school we had to run a mile, but put that in a horizontal perspective, like I'm trying to like think of it. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
across the Alabama landscape. The tornado then tracks into the community of Mount Hope. Resident Gary Dobbs is a weatherman for Huntsville and spent 4:30 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon giving live coverage to the region
Oh,
for the morning
dang.
storms. But he went back home for some rest. Dobbs,
No,
well aware of the storm
Gary!
heading his way, went outside to report
Oh,
the location
no.
of the tornado back to his station.
Right now on the phone is meteorologist Gary Dobbs. Gary, tell us what you're seeing.
I see the rotation now. Wait a minute, I'm getting a good look at the edge. Oh, now I'm hearing the roar.
Ooh, the roar. It's
Hang
literally
on a minute.
roaring.
I see a definite debris area.
It's coming your way.
As a matter of fact, it looks like it's coming straight this direction. If I had to judge what this is, it looks like an F4, and I am going to have to go inside.
Oh my
I don't know
god.
if you can hear the wind picking up.
It's approaching fast.
It is picked up, and it is. Well, I got to go inside. Okay.
Gary Dobbs heading into a storm shelter.
Gary drops his phone. The tornado is on top of him. He dives into a closet as his entire house disappears around him and is thrown into his backyard, where he's pelted by debris, sustaining major injuries. Miraculously, the tornado passes before he's killed. Despite his injuries, he uses a 2x4 plank to pry open his storm shelter where others are trapped inside. Gary's home was gone.
Oh my
and the
God.
neighboring steakhouse was so violently destroyed.
I gotta say, Gary, though, his instincts, like, he's able to survive that. That's crazy. Because imagine getting so injured, like, you don't know what to do, but he's able to, like, use a plank to pry open the shelter to get in. Like, that takes a lot of willpower, okay?
That large pieces of concrete foundation had been pulled from the ground.
My gosh.
The tornado marches onwards, killing livestock and destroying homes, now moving towards Highway 24. At one farm north of the highway,
No,
a family
the
and their
shelter.
neighbors seek shelter in their storm cellar.
That is literally just fill up the entire sky. Oh my gosh.
They film, waiting, not knowing what was going to happen.
So scary.
The storm shelter takes a direct hit from the core of the tornado. Fortunately, everyone inside survives without any injuries.
That's good,
When
that's
they go
good.
outside, they see an unrecognizable
God.
scene. Their entire farmstead was turned to rubble and would be
I can't imagine how they would have felt, because you would feel relief and safe inside that shelter, and then the moment you walk out, reality hits you in the face, and you can't even deny it. It's just like unbelievable, you know?
beams were thrown so violently they had penetrated deeply into the ground. The tornado races onwards towards Langtown.
grocery!
Here, the Mays grocery store is struck, killing owner Lyndon Mays and relative Mary Mays. By now, the tornado has been on the ground for over 50 miles, and damage at the ground is more sporadic and weak. A common behavior when tornadoes are in their weakening state is that they turn to the left before they vanish. A left turn at this point is a worst-case scenario because that puts the storm's trajectory right into the Browns Ferry nuclear power plant, which just so happens to have the lowest safety marks of any nuclear reactor in the country. But this tornado is unlike most tornadoes. After briefly weakening, it re-intensifies and stays on the same course it had been on, now moving towards another target, the Nucor steel plant on Wheeler Lake. It directly impacts the industrial area, although the strongest winds of the tornado thread the needle between two warehouses, with only one building having most of its roof removed. After crossing Wheeler Lake, the tornado makes landfall on the eastern bank in Limestone County. Now on land, the tornado returns to terrorizing towns, moving through the community of Tanner. Tanner is no stranger to violent tornadoes. It was hit by two F5s during the 1974 super outbreak.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's been hit before with two EF5? Oh my God, this town, I feel bad. Oh my gosh.
It's the only town hit by three F or EF5 tornadoes.
Cannot take a break.
Tanner's elevation also happens to be 666, the number of the beast. After cutting through the south side of town, the tornado approaches the intersection of Interstate 65 and Highway 24, where storm chaser Charles Robertson is recording the tornado as it tracks directly towards him.
Oh, this is photos of just death.
We have no time to go back. We'll have to go north.
Yeah, wall of gray.
Eventually, Charles realizes he is directly in the path and escapes to the
Can't
north
get out, it's too
just
thick.
before the tornado overtakes his location. Not everyone here manages to escape in time, as several semi-trucks are overturned when the tornado crosses the interstate. At the same time, a resident to the east is recording the tornado from their front porch. They capture the rain-wrapped monster as it moves through the south side of Athens. Even though you can't see the detailed tornado, you can still see the left edge.
This is a nightmare.
Beast is lurking
Literally
in the rain.
a nightmare.
It's around this time that Channel 48 News is focusing on the tornado. They observe the storm drawing closer from their live stream camera.
I see why this video was titled Unsurvivable Tornado. Yes.
Initially, you can only see a thick wall of rain, but within seconds, the tornado reveals itself.
So we have a large wedge tornado on our alpha camera moving directly towards the camera.
Oh my
Eventually,
God.
power is lost, cutting the live stream, but the radar keeps scanning. The last radar scan shows the circulation right at the center of the image as it's being destroyed by the tornado. Even though it's only mid-afternoon,
so
the storm
dark!
is turning day into night. A prison guard videoing from the Limestone Correctional Facility
afternoon?
captures how dark the sky gets.
Yeah, because it literally covered the entire sky. It looks like it's nighttime now. Oh my gosh.
And how close you need to be before you can actually see the tornado.
Oh, there's lightning too, combination with that. This is insane.
The tornado passes 100 yards south of the facility, sparing everyone on site. The tornado then moves into the town of Harvest, Alabama, where the Ricks family records the tornado.
Oh my God. Looks devastating.
The tornado was clearly much smaller than it was earlier in its life, but that doesn't mean it's weak. Countless homes near Harvest are struck at EF4 intensity, including the Anderson Hills subdivision. But by the time the circulation crosses Alabama 53, it's finally weakening.
Oh,
for
thank
good.
God.
At 4:50 in the afternoon, the tornado dissipates just east of Harvest.
See, it always starts at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. and then end before 5 p.m. Also, I wonder because of the pattern of the tornado went and how big it was, like literally 1 mile. And so I wonder if this tornado like will cost the town the most cost to repair compared to other tornadoes.
Alabama. Even though this monster had lifted, the rest of Alabama was still enduring an onslaught of strong tornadoes. It was right at this time the Tuscaloosa tornado formed, which would go on to be one of the most prolific tornadoes of the day. And on top of
I saw this one already. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
that, another EF5 that impacted the
So
town of
many
Rainville had
EF5s!
yet to form. April 27th set the record for the most tornadoes in one day. 223 tornadoes touched down between 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. But if we
223 tornadoes in total?
compare the Hackleburg tornado to every other tornado,
Actually
Hackleburg was
insane.
the most dominant as the longest track
dominant.
and widest EF5
Longest
of the day.
track,
It was also the deadliest tornado in Alabama state history, killing 71. Despite not
71 fatalities. I think in the other tornadoes, I think maybe half the numbers. I think so, but oh my goodness.
hitting any large cities, the
So many
Hackleburg tornado
people.
left a
It's a
scar that can be
lot.
clearly seen on satellite imagery, showing how long and intense this tornado truly was. If you ever see
Jesus.
something like this coming towards you, your only chance of survival
I'm gonna
is to get
cry.
underground.
Oh
and
my
even
gosh.
then, survival is not guaranteed.
That's true, not guaranteed for real. Oh my gosh. Rest in peace to all of the people that did not survive. Rest in peace. But thank you so much for recommending me to watch this tornado. If you have any more tornado you want me to react, let me know in a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to go binge watch these videos if you have not. Have a good day. Bye bye.